welcome to today's Professional on Therapy Cable. I am Dr. Ehsan Garashedagi, clinical psychologist, and I'm here today with a colleague of mine. We have today Shelby Castillo with us. She is a licensed marriage and family therapist, as well as a registered yoga teacher. And she's right here in the city of Newport Beach. Is that right?
That's correct.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
for having me.
Thank you for being here. What we would like to do today is basically talk more about your background and your practice, and more or less your daily activities, because I want the viewers to really get to know you a little bit better. You have been in practice for a few years.
I have. I've been licensed for close to 9 years now, and I've been working for myself in private practice for about 5.
For about 5 years.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. How is that going for you?
It's good. It's been a challenge, just navigating, starting your own business, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy the flexibility I have and the clientele that I'm working with.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you got licensed for 9 years. So your kind of training is marriage family therapy.
Correct.
Do you work with couples or families or individuals?
I do mostly with individuals, higher functioning adult individuals, and then just lately have been working more with couples. Have been just kind of naturally, organically coming my direction.
Really?
So it's been really exciting.
That's great.
I'm finding that I really enjoy working with couples. So. Yeah.
That's not an easy feat, because we know that a lot of therapists actually don't really enjoy working with couples, or rather prefer working with individuals.
Right.
It's rare to have a therapist who actually enjoys it.
Right. I found that it's been more of a challenge for me. And it's just the dynamic of working in a triangle is it's been rewarding.
Very good.
Yeah.
And so you do both. Is that something that you do, both yoga teaching and therapy in the same facility or different facilities?
Different facilities. I have an office in Fashion Island in Newport Beach, where I have a yoga studio, a traditional yoga studio, and also a traditional psychotherapy office. And I can go back and forth between having an individual session for psychotherapy, and then I also have the yoga room. And I try not to go back and forth within the same session, but I'll have one session, back to back, which can sometimes be helpful for clients. We can do a little bit of meditation before the session, or a little bit of yoga flow after the session.
That's a great combination.
Yeah. It just really depends on the client and how open they are to wanting to explore yoga.
Yeah, I really like this multimodal approach that some therapists engage in, and generally the way I look at it is very much similar to what we call integrative approach to therapy. But generally integrative approach to therapy includes really multiple theories, multiple orientations. Let's say you're integrating CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, with, for instance, just behaviorism or behavioral therapy, or with emotion-focused therapy, right? But the fact that we can, and also mindfulness has been a huge component that has been integrated in general with a lot of different modalities, and people just are becoming more and more familiar with it. But the fact that you're throwing in this yoga, right, and that's more than just the mind, right, being mindful, but also you're actually working on the body, right? These are actual body techniques, right? Real yoga.
Yeah, absolutely. I firmly believe that emotional memories, a lot of trauma is stored in the body, and through yoga, through meditation, through mindfulness, we can become more aware of where we're holding on to certain things, and through the yoga practice, and even through touch, acupuncture, and I'm very holistic in the way that I work, and I do believe in acupuncture and body movement as a way of releasing stored emotions.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what comes to my mind is a lot of other practitioners who really focus on that. Pat Ogden with sensory motor experiencing, Peter Levine with somatic experiencing,
yes.
Diana Fasha with this accelerated psychodynamic, emotion focused therapy. They all are proponents, I would say, of the fact that these emotions are stored in the body, right? That we can't just ignore the somatic component of our existence. It's not just talk. It's not just thinking through things, but let's process it too.
Right, absolutely.
So that's a very interesting combination you have. So a typical work or session that combines both, how would that work out? You would have the client come in first for a yoga and for an hour?
Generally, no. When I first start to see people, I like to see them in a psychotherapy atmosphere first, and we do the intake, and I like to build a relationship so that we can establish some trust and go from there. And then, depending on how open they are to a holistic approach and their specific situation, we can start to incorporate the yoga. So a lot of times, it can just happen right in the therapy room where we can do some mindfulness techniques and meditation to help reduce the anxiety, before or after the session. So it's really, I really try to work individually with each client and their needs.
Okay, so if we pay attention to what their particular needs are, and that's something that helps you kind of tailor your program or treatment plan according to their particular needs, wishes, schedule, and so forth. But I like the fact that you focus first on the psychotherapeutic aspect, establishing a relationship, a rapport with them, a connection, trust, and then after that you may then certainly expand that into also yoga. Now, once that happens, let's say you transition through that, a client comes in for a few sessions, and they feel comfortable, and they say, okay, well, how can yoga help me, right? And then how do you throw that in? Do they come back same day, another day? How would you?
Again, it depends, but it can go either or. A lot of times, I'll see my psychotherapy clients on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Then I'll do the yoga sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that they are different, so that they are kind of in a different mental space, and they're in loose clothing, and so am I, and it's it just can make more sense that way. But then there are other times as well where I'll do, like I said, more of the mindfulness stuff, which will happen at the beginning of the session or at the end of the session, which is more just relaxation in the body.
How long do your sessions last?
My psychotherapy sessions are 50 minutes, and then the yoga, it varies. I try to work as intuitively as possible. So sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes an hour and a half, and it can vary.
It can vary. Okay. That's great too. So you're quite flexible. With the hours,
with the yoga,
and duration, especially.
Okay.
Now, what has been so far the results that you have seen?
I see that a lot of the women that I'm working with are becoming more connected to their bodies and more accepting. A lot of people with eating disorders, compulsions, addictions are can sometimes become so wrapped up in their minds and their heads, and so kind of bringing the awareness back to the body can be very helpful.
Okay, so I like also the fact that you mentioned eating disorder, because that was my next question. Is like, what type of ailments or disorders or problems do you usually focus on that can help with? So eating disorder would
it can be really helpful with eating disorders, I find. I mean, with anything, anxiety, everything, but especially eating disorders, because with the eating disorder you can become so detached from your body, and the yoga, the mindfulness can really kind of bring you back into.
That's great. Yeah, I'm sure with anxiety for sure, right? Meditation and in fact, interestingly, I've had a few clients who have been struggling with anxiety and for whom actually meditation has made it worse to some extent.
Oh, wow.
I've had that. And but that's a different story, and what we have to do with this but generally, it's known that meditation works well for anxiety and reducing anxiety. So, and then specifically also yoga, I think meditation, when people say meditation, we sometimes use that as an umbrella, mindfulness meditation. Right. It sometimes includes an umbrella term that includes yoga, but I think yoga, when it comes to yoga, it's really that inclusion of the body, and focus on the body. It's actually moving the body, posture, certain settings, and the way a person is really just working with the body. And incorporating the body is very, very important. And that gives that, this combination, integrative or integration of what the body senses and the mind is doing, and bringing them together and give them a sense of synthesis with what works, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so good results, right? Especially eating disorders. Any other types of?
Like I was saying, all addictions, compulsions, I think just becoming more aware of your breath, is extremely helpful in all of the yoga postures and correct alignment, really being in tune to your body and each movement. So, yeah.
Well, good. So, and then the other thing I wanted to also bring up is like the location itself, address, website, contact information that you want to share with her.
Absolutely. I have 2 offices, both in Newport. One is in Fashion Island. That's the office that I have the yoga studio at. And my traditional psychotherapy office is on Dove Street, also in Newport Beach, by the airport. My website is www.mftandyoga.com. So it's MFT as in marriage family therapist. And spelled out, yoga, YOGA. And all my information can be found on my website. I also accept insurance, and I have an assistant who works directly with the insurance companies so that my clients don't have to do that, which is really helpful. And she gets everything verified and working. That typically covers the psychotherapy portion, not the yoga portion. And I do use a sliding scale, so I'm flexible if finances are an issue. I like to work with the client. I never like to turn anybody down. And
so yoga is generally not covered by insurance.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. It's just something extra that people have to pay for.
It's something extra, exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, and then lastly, just generally, what do you do for hobbies? What do you do for fun?
Yoga.
You do? Okay.
I practice yoga every day. I live yoga. I breathe yoga. I love gardening. Is one of my passions. Going to the beach, relaxing, just spending as much time as possible with positive people, and I've got a great circle of friends. Nice. So.
And when we talk about yoga, there are different types of yoga, right?
There are, yes.
Which one are you interested in?
I prefer the vinyasa flow. It's generally what I teach, but again, it varies depending on what's going on with the client. But that's what I like to practice.
Vinyasa
flow.
How is that different? I have not really heard of that
myself,
but I'm not into yoga. So.
Yeah, I mean, they're all every aspect of yoga is different, but it gives you the physical release, the physical exercise, and then it also kind of brings you back in touch with your body and connects you to your breath. So
is it like on the easier end or the more difficult and moderate?
There are different levels. So I try and it depends on what's going on with me and my body and my mind and everything. So I try and just take it easy when I'm not feeling when my energy is fairly down, and when I feel like a good workout, then I'll kick it up a notch.
Okay. And where were you certified or?
I was certified at Cloud9 Yoga in Huntington Beach. There are branches all over the world, actually. Wow. And Hawaii, Long Beach, everywhere. So their website is cloud9yoga.com.
Okay, great. Yeah. So that's important to know too, because I have tried yoga for sure, and to just kind of relax or learn or kind of actually build some kind of a stamina or strength or, if you will, whatever it is, that energy, if you will, if you're going to call it. And I know that it's on the surface, it sounds so simple, right? They just like lift the leg, for instance,
Right.
or your arms, or stay in one posture. But in reality, when you do it, it feels like, you're doing the 10 hours of workout just by lifting one leg for an extended time. And yeah, it is really painful.
Yeah,
It can be painful.
If you're not used to it, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not that easy to do.
Right.
Yoga. Would you be interested to actually showing some of yoga movements here?
Absolutely.
Not today.
Not right now, but absolutely. I'd be more than happy. Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
We could do a whole little, a group
Very good.
or a one-on-one private to show the audience.
To show the audience.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I'd like to welcome you back in the future, invite you.
Thank you.
And to join us and perhaps put a yoga session together, show some of these moves, and also we will talk more about the benefits of combination of yoga and psychotherapy.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. So Shelby Castile, everyone, please visit her website, mftandyoga.com, for more information. Thank you for watching therapycable.com.